thanks for joining us on TVC News at 10. We begin with development from Niger Republic, where the military junta has made an about-face and declared it is ready for dialogue with the economic community of West African states. This comes few days after the West African bloc activated its standby force to restore democracy in the country. We have more in this report.
It appears there may now be a resolution to the coup in Niger Republic as a group of Islamic scholars from Nigeria make their way to Niamey for talks with the coup leaders after President Bola Tinubu approved their mediation moves. In a statement earlier today, leader of the delegation, Bala Lau, said the visit was to engage in constructive dialogue and encourage coup leaders to toe the path of peace instead of war to resolve the crisis. He also noted that the coup leaders were dissatisfied with the ultimatum by Ecowas without hearing their side of the story. The military leaders say the coup was well intended and meant to stave off an imminent threat that would have affected not only Niger Republic but also Nigeria. The National Missioner of Ansar-Uddin Society of Nigeria, Abdurrahman Ahmad, who was also on the delegation, disclosed that contrary to reports making the rounds, they were given a warm reception in Niamey.
War is an ill wind that blows no one no good. It is a matter of the last resort. And from what we have seen, we think the situation is redeemable because the Nigerian government is ready and open to dialogue and a peaceful resolution of these.
According to Niger's Prime Minister, talks with Ecowas is expected to hold in the next few days. The group of Islamic clerics had met with President Bola Tinubu as chairman of Ecowas on Wednesday, seeking to dialogue with the coup leaders in peace moves to restore democracy in Niger Republic.
We are enriched with what we have seen and what we have heard. And we'll go back home to report to His Excellency the President what we saw and what we discussed.
With this latest development, the West African bloc, who earlier activated its standby force to restore democracy, may be coasting to victory to resolve the coup, which is the fifth since the landlocked country gained independence from France in 1960.
The military coup in Niger Republic has continued to elicit reactions and counter-reactions from various civil society groups in Katsina State. Some agitators are demanding the immediate release and return of President Bazum to power, while others are more concerned with demanding Ecowas drops any plans to pursue military options. TVC News correspondent Abdulatif Yusuf reports.
It is not surprising that this part of the country that shares the largest border with Niger Republic is concerned about what further actions may be taken by the military junta in Niger on the one hand and the Ecowas on the other. The effect of the border closure has crippled trade and other aspects of living in this area. Katsina alone shares about 12 land border posts and uncountable illegal routes between small communities that exist on the divide between the two countries.
A national pride of the Republic of Niger and its people. Notwithstanding that, the Ecowas has revealed its ultimatum on military action, it is noteworthy that the advancement of troops and military hardware on standby is still an intimidation and a threat to the Republic of Niger, which is likely to hinder any diplomatic progress for peace, understanding and reconciliation of the standoff situation. Ecowas or Nigeria, for that matter, should not violate the sovereignty of the Nigerian people.
Most of the transborder trades are informal businesses, and the level of dependency on cattle and sheep and other household items are beyond imagination. The people here are concerned that the present situation remains unchanged, relationship between the two countries may worsen, and ties may be damaged beyond repairs. Already, the outcome of the visit by religious leaders to the military junta has signaled the possibility of new negotiations with the coup leaders. But this group of youths is concerned about the health condition of President Bazum, is urging the coup plotters to free him from captivity.
We strongly condemn the arrogance and disrespect to world leaders and respected individuals, such as the President of the Republic of Chad, Mohammed Idris Deby, former Nigerian head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, and the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar, displayed by the coupists. We also demand immediate and unconditional release of President Bazum.
The next few days will be critical as the people wait anxiously to see the turn of events and how further the actors involved will explore diplomacy to resolve the matter. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
Let's talk more on the developments from Niger Republic. I have joining me a former ambassador to Libya, Mohammed Ibrahim. He joins us from Abuja. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. Finally, the military junta in Niger say they are ready for dialogue. What is your take on that?
Thank you very much. Since the coup in Niger by General Thani, there have been several opportunities for dialogue with the Ecowas, which they all rebuffed. Now that they are talking for dialogue, I believe this may not be as a mark of good faith as such, but this, I believe, the sanctions put on them are beginning to bite hard. Be as it may, this opportunity should be welcomed, and the ECOWAS should start having dialogue with them. But there are two basic issues, among others. One is for them to realize that President Bazum remains the legitimate elected president of Niger as far as ECOWAS is concerned. Two, the junta should release immediately President Bazum and reinstate him as the president of Niger, as well as release his family and members of his government that have been unjustly detained in a very humiliating condition since the coup of 26 July. I think these are basic necessities for having serious dialogue with the regime. If they have good faith before even coming to Abuja or before any emissaries of the ECOWAS chairman meets them, the least they can do is to release President Bazum or to improve the condition of his detention. Without that, I don't think there will be, we will accept that there is a sign of seriousness and good faith from them.
Well, in the days ahead, we strongly believe that ECOWAS would be reacting to this new resolve now from the Nigerian military junta that they are ready for a dialogue. But then we know that the junta has said this coup was well intended. How have you, thought about that, some of the reasons they gave for embarking on this action?
I don't think there is any coup that is well intended. They know their obligations under the ECOWAS protocol. They know their obligations under several treaties, the African Charter also. So there is no well-intended coup. I think they are trying to repeat what they did in 2010 when they had a coup and they asked for a certain period of time to be given to them. The ECOWAS should bear in mind this. I expect that they will ask for a certain period of time to conduct an election or to govern the country until these issues that they have mentioned are resolved. The ECOWAS should be very conscious of that in the negotiations with them.
Said mixed reactions. there are those who, as you look at it, it has actually brought up some kinds of sentiment, some colonial sentiment, talking about some saying, okay, French has had such a strong hold on our country. We want to be free. We want anything but French leadership. How should this sentiment be addressed going forward such that peace can be maintained in the country?
I think they're just whipping this French sentiment because they don't have any logical reason to give for the coup. As a matter of fact, President Bazum had started addressing some of these issues. He mentioned the review of the agreement signed with France going back to 1960, especially in the exploration of uranium in Niger. He has also mentioned of the review regarding the exploration of oil in the country with China. He has brought several changes, including fighting endemic corruption in Niger. I don't think the coup leaders will have more to add than this. It's the same thing that those that they are trying to copy in Mali and Burkina Faso did. But it hasn't changed anything. These two countries keep drowning more and more in serious economic and political crisis. Yes, it is good to have review, to come out of the clutches of their former colonial masters, but that will not be necessary through the coup. There was a legitimately elected government which should do that.
All right, Ambassador. All right. Let me quickly ask you this before we call it a day. How much longer do you think the situation is likely to last until there is restoration of civil rule in the Republic of Niger?
As I have said, these sanctions imposed by Ecowas have started biting on them. And I think these sanctions should continue. In fact, if anything, more sanctions should be imposed on them, depending on the outcome of the dialogue.
All right, then. I must sincerely appreciate you for talking to us. Former Ambassador to Libya, Mohammed Ibrahim, thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you very much.
Still ahead on TVC News.